So again, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Rosalind Shaw Belt. Everybody calls me Dr. Roz. I am the CEO of Dream to Life Productions and Ministry. Yes, I am a minister, have been in ministry since 1980. I'm a wife, a musician. I've done, as you can see, I've done a lot of different things. God has blessed me. But I'm excited to share with you tonight because I'm a certified wellness coach here at Akana. I'm also the VP of Communication. But let's talk a little bit before I get into your bioscan. Let me explain who we are. We are Akana, and it means in the hands of God. We launched our company on 4/20 of 2019. And we started out with a line of CBD products and essential oils. And then in 2020, we branched into wellness full steam ahead. And then in 2021, we were introduced to what we call the flat belly lifestyle. You're going to hear us talk about that. That's where our focus is going to be tonight. We actually have over 30,000 customers now up to this date. And we are proud that we reinvest 1% of our gross profits to empower undeserved communities. We have a full medical advisory board. I saw some doctors that were coming on here. We're always excited to have people in the medical profession because we use them as our advisors, not only our advisors, but all of these are doctors and MDs, DOs, and clinical psychologists, child psychologists. We got chiropractors, we've got herbalists, we've got naturopathic doctors. All of these men and women, they not only advise us, but they use our products for themselves, for their families, and for their patients. Now, what's astounding is that in 2020, there was a statistic that says that nearly 700,000 people died from heart disease in the United States. But here's what's astounding. 25% of them did not find out until death. That's astounding. And here's what's even more astounding. 90% of that heart disease was preventable. And you're going to hear me use a term tonight. We won't say cure. We won't say that word, but we will say reversible, because all of this stuff is reversible. As a matter of fact, before COVID in 2016, there was an article in the National Library of Medicine on the Institute of Healthcare Improvement that said medical error in hospitals and other medical facilities could be the third leading cause of death in the United States. Now, as I said earlier, I've done a lot of different things, but I'm not a medical doctor. I have gone through the certification to become a certified wellness coach, but I always like for us to hear from people who have done all of the education and getting the qualifications in the industry of wellness. So I want you to hear from a few doctors and what they have to say about something we're going to be talking about tonight. Check this video out.
2/3 of adults are now overweight or obese, and we have an epidemic cascade of debilitating disease that's overcoming the country. There's no way we can sustain the current style of care with the epidemic that we're creating with our diet and lifestyle choices.
The diabetes, the arthritis, the heart disease, the dementia, the obesity, the cancers are affecting about 70% of deaths. All the data is that those 70% of deaths and morbidity are largely lifestyle related and preventable.
Most kids by age 10 in the U.S. already have fatty streaks in their arteries, the first stage of atherosclerosis leading to heart attacks, strokes.
Here in American medicine, we operate from the disease model. We are in the business of treating sick people. We are not in the business of trying to prevent people from becoming sick.
When you look at chronic disease risk, all the things that we walk around worrying about, actually dietary choices trump smoking when it comes to those risks.
If I could deliver one message to the researchers who are looking for the cause of diabetes and the cause of clogged arteries and the cause of high blood pressure and the cause of obesity, I would tell them the answer's in 3 words. It's the food. It's what Americans are eating.
He said it's the food. Isn't that amazing? Here's a doctor saying it's the food. And then what did the other doctor say? He said, we're not in the business of preventing sickness. We're in the business of treating sick people. And we're at the goal. We have a goal here at Akana. There's this thing called blue zones. Have you ever heard of blue zones? Blue zone is areas in the country or in the world where people eat far less animal meat, but yet they live longer than the average person. There are actually 6 blue zones in the whole world. Well, guess what we're trying to do? Create another blue zone. Create a blue zone in your family, in your house, in your community. And it's because of the problem that we have in the United States. Our CEO has coined a phrase called suicide. Suicide is the fact that we are digging our graves with our fork. Yes, we're actually committing suicide at the table. And it's because of too much animal protein that's impairing our kidneys and our organs and our cells. And that's what's contributing to faster aging and cancer and heart disease and obesity. A lot of times when I sit down with a person, they're so quick to tell me that because their mother had it and their grandmother had it, they just feel like they're destined to have it. But even Dr. Oz said our genetics load the gun, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger. And I say it like this: we eat like they ate, so we have what they have. So now let's talk about your bioscan. Let's talk about this report that we were so privileged to give you and sit down with you. And we're grateful that you took the time out to find out what's going on in the cellular level of your body. The bioscan has several items that it tests. And then we want to look at the normal range. That's where we want everybody to be. But then your personal measures. No, this was not a generic test. It was directly related to you because you gave us some information. We put it in the computer and it spit out your results. But the easiest part to look at this is through the color code. We've got 4 colors: green, blue, yellow, and red. The green represents normal. The blue represents mildly normal. Then yellow, moderately abnormal. And then red, severely abnormal. I say it like this: if I live in Texas and if I get in the car and I'm driving east and I tell you I'm going to California, guess what? I want you to tell me that I'm going in the wrong direction. And I don't want you to tell me I'm going in the wrong direction by the time I get to Miami. I need you to tell me by the time I get to Pensacola, or maybe tell me when I get to Louisiana, or better yet, tell me when I get to Beaumont, Texas. That's what it means about the green, the blue, the yellow, and the red. Because see, all disease is progressive. Nobody has anything overnight. It's happening over time. So we're going to look at your bioscan report. You're going to look at your own report as I go through this. And you're going to be able to tell, where are you? Are you in the green, which is normal? Are you in the blue, which is just mildly out of balance? See, out of balance, that abnormality does not mean disease. It just means you're starting to go in the wrong direction. Now, if you're in the yellow, you're a little further in the wrong direction. And of course, if you're in the red, you are severely in the wrong direction, out of balance. But out of balance is not disease. But just know there's a solution. You can turn it around. Now you notice there's some colors on the left side of the green, and there's some colors on the right side of the green. The left means decrease, the right means increase. In other words, this is the wonderful way that God made our body. When something on the left is not working as efficiently as it should, something on the right overworks, works harder to accomplish what it's supposed to accomplish. It's the way God keeps us alive, right? But we don't need it to continue to overwork. And we need to understand, what is it that's causing the increase or the decrease? What is it that's causing the lack of efficiency or the overworking of a particular item? What is the source? Well, let me just share with you a few sources. One is the lack of oxygen. Whenever there's a lack of oxygen coming through your bloodstream, it is one of the primary causes of disease. It's what cancer is. Cancerous cells are oxygen deprived. Other thing is mucus and parasites. We'll talk a little bit about mucus and parasites, but we get them in our food, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, don't shoot the messenger tonight. Just understand, so much mucus in our body over time, and that scan report that you did not detect what's been taking place in your body yesterday, last night, or last month. But it began to show you, since you were a teenager up until now, what level of progression you are. Where is that mucus building up? Where are those possible parasites that are eating away at the nutrients in your body? Where are the toxins that are taking place that's causing blockages in your arteries? That's the stuff we're looking at. And where are the deficiencies? deficiencies like vitamin D, like vitamin A, C, and E, like all different kinds of deficiencies actually lead to disease. And then is your body acidic or is it alkaline? Those are the things that lead towards disease, and we're going to talk about these tonight. So let's jump into this right now. All right, here we go. Looking at your first report. Your first report is the cardiovascular and the cerebral vascular. That means it's the heart and the brain. Now, on the left side, which is the tested items, all the way down, except for the last two, deals with the heart, all different areas of your heart. The last two deal with the brain. Remember I said the normal range and the actual measure. Now let's look at the colors. And tonight I'm going to pair some of the colors together because they just kind of go together. When you see one off, the other's off. So we're going to look at these first two, blood viscosity and blood fat. Now this is relationship to fatty foods and toxic foods. And one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is eating according to your blood type, because you could be eating something that is toxic to your blood because you're eating in the blind, because you don't know your blood type. You may be eating a very food that really you should kind of stay away from, or at least you should lessen that food. But let's just say you've been doing that, not knowing that. And now these toxins are building up and you're looking at your blood viscosity, which is thickness of the blood. You know how it is in your oil, when you change your oil in your car, there's a time period, if you don't change it, it builds up sludge. And that sludge thickens the oil in your car so that it can't flow through. And if you don't change the oil so that you can get some clean oil, you mess up your engine, right? The same thing happens in our body. We mess up the flow of blood, the flow of oxygen, the flow of the nutrients because our blood is too thick. Now, if you're looking at your report and you see that in the red, more than likely you're probably already on blood thinners, Wayfair or some kind of blood thinner. Now, if you're looking at the fatty tissues, understand that those come from the food, the diet, the fatty foods that we're eating, the cholesterol that's raised up. That's our next part of the report. Where is your cholesterol crystal? Is it on the right? If it's on the right, that means it's higher than it needs to be. Is it in the blue, like this one, or is it in the yellow or the red? We have so much cholesterol-rich foods that most of us like here. Don't shoot the messenger. Those of you that love your bacon every morning, and you love your potatoes and your donuts, and oh my God, Lord knows I'm a French fry connoisseur. Your pizza, all these things are high in cholesterol. So do we really wonder why we have high cholesterol? No, we shouldn't really wonder. We should just look at our diet and realize we can make the change without necessarily being on cholesterol medication. Because oftentimes when your cholesterol is up, what's the first thing that our doctors want to do is to put us on medication, put us on a pill. But let me tell you something. If you change your diet, you'll be able to go to your doctor and he'll be saying to you, or she'll be saying to you, what are you doing? Because your numbers are so much better. And those are the kind of testimonies that we already have been getting. The next part of the report is vascular resistance. Let's look at your report. It'll be to the right. Usually it's an increase if it's not in the green. Is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? Well, what is vascular resistance? Well, all of us have these blood vessels, right? Our arteries. But over time, because of too much animal protein, because of high fatty diets, yes, processed food, all those things, plaque begins to build up around the arteries. I often show people this picture, and I say to them, looking at circle number 1 and looking at circle number 3, you think the same amount of blood has to flow through each? And oftentimes people say, no, of course not. And then I say, yes, the same amount of blood has to flow through each, because that's the amount of blood. There's a certain amount of blood you need to have in your body for you to live. But it's harder to get through circle number 3 because the plaque is building up and it's sitting on the walls of your arteries. So now it's got to push harder to get through. And when it pushes harder, it raises the blood pressure. Yes, there we have blood pressure. We have atherosclerosis, right? We have blood pressure. And now, bam, the doctor says, here's your pill, right? And you're on these pills. My father was on blood pressure medicine all of his adult life. But what if he knew what I know right now? What if he knew what I'm telling you tonight? that you could actually dissolve the plaque buildup. Yeah, you're going to hear about tonight. We're going to show you how you can actually dissolve this plaque buildup and move this back to the second circle, all the way back to the first circle, and reverse this thing so that you don't have blood pressure problems and lead to a stroke, which was that fourth circle, because it's completely blocked and the blood can't get through, the oxygen can't get through, right? So that's called a heart attack or a stroke. So we want to deal with this vascular resistance. Now, the next one, I'm going to triple pair it up, right? 3 different areas: vascular elasticity, coronary artery elasticity, and cerebral blood vessel elasticity. What's the common word? Elasticity. Because every one of us has a blood vessel that's supposed to be elastic like a rubber band. That's what allows the nutrients to flow through and the oxygen to flow through. Remember, I talked about nutrients and oxygen and oxygen and everything. So we want that to be elastic. But when plaque builds up, as you see in the second diagram, it begins to harden. And we call that hardening of the arteries. Many of us have heard that terminology. If it hardens too much for too long of a time, what does it do? Bam, it breaks. And then they've got to put a stent in there to repair that if you live through it, because that's a heart attack or a stroke. But what if we just, again, remove the plaque? Dissolve that plaque. Well, you're already asking me the question. I hear you. How do I dissolve the plaque? We're going to tell you how to do that tonight. But the objective here tonight is that we want to get it back to a healthy blood vessel, and we can reverse that. Now, we notice there are 3 different ones: vascular, coronary, and cerebral. Same elasticity, same hardening of the arteries, but the difference is where it's located as it relates to the heart and the brain. Vascular is around the heart. Coronary is on the heart, still hardening of the artery. And cerebral is in the brain. So blood vessels to the brain are starting to harden. And now, guess what else can happen? After it hardens so long, the plaque can break off and start traveling into those blood vessels and cause those clots. And when it causes those clots, there we go. We've got an aneurysm, we got a heart attack, or we got a stroke. That's what it is, the plaque buildup. So we want to clean up the plaque. We want to clean up the blood. The life of the flesh is in the blood. So let's work to clean up our blood. The next thing on your report is myocardial blood demand. Are you looking at that particular report? If it's not in the green, it should be over to the right. It's in the right, in the blue, the yellow, or the red. Blue, mild; yellow, moderate; red, severe, right? Now, every time you see the word myocardial, you know what we're talking about? The condition of your heart. Every 60 seconds, your heart demands a certain amount of blood to get to the heart. And if it's over the right, it's working harder to do that. And more than likely, it's working harder, like you see in this report. It's mildly working harder. But why is it working harder? It's working harder because of the lack of elasticity that we just looked at, and because of the vascular resistance above that, and because of a little cholesterol. See what I'm saying? It all works together. And one way you can know how well your heart is or what condition your body is go up some stairs. Stairs will let you know how healthy you are. Yeah. Have you any of you going up some stairs and you can't make it up the full flight? Or you say, oh, my goodness, this is too much, right? It was one of the ways I really knew I had to get in shape when I was climbing some stairs. So myocardial blood demand. Now, the next thing on our report is the myocardial blood perfusion volume. It's about the volume of blood coming through your heart. How is that blood flow? There's a certain amount of blood flow supposed to be taking place. Is it working efficiently? It will be over to the left, in the blue, the yellow, or the red. If it's not working efficiently, every one of us, sometimes that plaque is building up and it compromises the flow of that blood. But not only does it compromise the flow of blood, it's also compromising the flow of oxygen. It's also compromising the nutrients that we need to nourish us. So we want to get rid of the plaque. Would somebody say, get rid of the plaque? That's what you ought to be saying throughout this whole presentation. And then myocardial oxygen consumption. Yes. Now, you're looking at that on your report. It may be to the right. If it's not in the green, in the blue, the yellow, or the red. If it's in the red, it's severely, you're not having the oxygen to come through every time the heart contracts. Every time your heart contracts, a certain amount of oxygen is supposed to flow through to your heart. And so guess what? It's working harder than it should. When you look at everything else that we just already looked at, you understand why it's having to work harder than it should. The next report, the next thing on your report is called stroke volume. Now, don't panic because you saw the word stroke. It doesn't mean having a stroke. Every time the heart contracts, that's called a stroke. 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 stroke, 4 strokes. So are you stroking as efficiently as you should be? Are you in the blue, the yellow, or the red to the left? Meaning it's not working as efficiently as you should be. But guess what? Exercise. That is the solution. That is one quick solution that you can take care of. Now, listen, don't tell me you can't exercise because you don't have time. It's not about how long you do, it's about being consistent. Don't tell me that you can't exercise because you got bad knees or you got bad back. Let me tell you something. I exercised once with a lady. You see them sitting down there in the chair. I was exercising, and all of a sudden, I was out of breath. And she said, okay, that was the warm-up. I went, the warm-up? And that was just a chair exercise. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to do something. It's not about exercising so you can just feel, you can look really good. It's about feeling good. It's about your health. It is a requirement that we must put in some kind of exercise. The next part of your report is left ventricular ejection impedance. Left ventricular ejection impedance. That word impedance means blockage. The left ventricle of your body is responsible for sending blood to the rest of your body. I often see people that I'm showing this to, and when they see it over into the right, they are already dealing with varicose veins and not getting enough oxygen to their legs, to their blood vessels in their legs. So that's the job of the left ventricle. So looking at your report, is it to the right? That means it's working harder to get that done. Now, coronary perfusion pressure. Every one of us, these arteries, the walls of the arteries is only so large. So when the plaque builds up, or when that plaque is released because it's been built up, little chips of it flowing through your blood vessel, listen, it can only make it so your walls can only carry so much. So the pressure that ends up, and we feel it sometimes, we feel a little twinge in the heart, or we feel a little pain in the heart, and we take a breath and we just deal with it and we keep it moving. But that's really a sign to let us know something is not right. And it may not even be detected yet. That's why this bioscan is so profound, because this shows you what's going on from the cellular level when 10 cells get out of balance. Now, there's equipment out there that shows when 10,000 cells get out of balance. When would you rather know it's out of balance? When would you know it's abnormal? 10 or 10,000? I think so, 10. You want to know way before it becomes critical. And last but not least, on your report for the heart and the brain is the brain tissue blood supply stem. Now that makes a whole lot of sense. That's status. Your brain needs blood to flow through the brain tissue, right? Because when it doesn't, again, that plaque builds up and it creates the blood clots. And blood clots can lead to strokes, can lead to aneurysms. How many ever talked to somebody one day and the next day you hear they're in the hospital because they had an aneurysm? LeBron James' son, playing basketball at the top of his game, had gotten on with a college team, hoping to play one day with his dad before his dad retires. And what happened? Had a cardiac arrest. On the outside, the picture of health. I'm seeing it everywhere. You hear people on the news. They're having brain surgeries. They're having this kind of surgery. And nothing on the outside looks like there's anything wrong. But we've got to know what's taking place in the cellular level of our body way before it becomes critical. All right. On to our next report. Our next report is the gastrointestinal function. The gastrointestinal function is important because this is your gut. Listen, if we had better gut health, we wouldn't be in a tizzy and a frantic about COVID, because we would have better gut health, which means 70% of our gut, our immune system is in our gut. And that's what COVID attacked, the compromised, inefficient immune systems. So looking at your report, the blue, the yellow, or the red, pepsin. That's the first thing on this report. Pepsin secretion coefficient. Pepsin, what is pepsin? Is it in the blue, the yellow, or the red? Meaning it's not working as efficiently as it should. Well, what is pepsin? It's an enzyme. It's an enzyme that's made in your stomach that helps to break down the protein. Okay, so we eat our animal protein. We're eating our beef, chicken, turkey, pork, all of it, fish. We're getting protein from it, right? But over time, we're eating so much of that protein. This pepsin thing, I call it your chewer. It says, I'm really tired. I'm tired of breaking this stuff down because you've been feeding me so much of it, and I'm not going to do it anymore because I'm tired, because you've never given me rest. So now it's not breaking it down. So now that food is just sitting there. And let me tell you something. When the lack of breaking down your protein, it begins to put stress on your kidneys. You're going to see, you'll be able to look at your own report and see, has it been putting stress on your kidneys? So we've got to clean this out. Clean this out so pepsin can feel the ability to be able to function again. Because most of us, first of all, we don't chew our food. We don't chew our food as much as we ought to. Your mama told you chew it 25 times or 30 times or whatever. We gobble it and we're chewing it fast and we're on the go, and pepsin is saying, I'm tired. Okay, in case you don't get this, I want you to understand when I say animal protein. See, any animal temperature higher than ours, it causes your body to work harder to break that protein and the oil of that animal, to digest it. Therefore, what does it do? Because it's working so hard to break the protein down, it stays in the body longer, and then it's stored as waste. You worried about weight? Let me tell you about the waste. See, our body temperature is normally what, 98.5, 98.6. Well, let's look at the different animals. Take the cow, for instance. The cow's body temperature, normal body temperature, is higher than ours. So our body has to work harder to digest the cow. The pig, even higher than that. The turkey's even higher than that. Oh, now you understand why Thanksgiving, everybody's laid over after Thanksgiving dinner. Because look at the height, look at the temperature of the normal body temperature of the turkey. The chicken, oh my goodness. Listen, I told you, don't shoot the messenger. But look at the fish. The fish's body temperature, normal body temperature, is lower than ours. That's why so many people are starting to become pescatarians, and they're doing fish and they're doing salmon because it's easier to digest. So that's why pepsin is saying, I'm so tired. And not only is pepsin tired, there's this second thing called peristalsis, gastric peristalsis function. Look at yours. Is it on the left? Like this example, it was moderately not working as good as it should be, inefficient, moderately abnormal, moderately out of balance. I hope yours is not in the red. But either way, listen, let's reverse this. Peristalsis is a muscle. And the job of this muscle is to move your food to your elimination. Are you dealing with constipation? Are you dealing with food just kind of sitting there in your stomach, in your gut? You just got to wait. Ooh, give me a break. Let me lay down for a minute because it's not moving. Are you going to the bathroom as often as you should be? Well, it could be that peristalsis, the pepsin may not be breaking it down. The peristalsis may not be moving it. Just like you do a toothpaste. When you're getting the toothpaste out, you roll it up until you get it all. Well, this peristalsis says, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not pushing it through anymore. And so now it's just sitting there and developing waste. And we have walls of food just sitting in our intestines. And then absorption. Absorption, so many of us tell me that, look, I'm taking vitamins, I'm taking these supplements, but let me tell you something, it's not about what you take, it's about what you absorb. And if your gut is plaqued, is plated, is filled up, like let's say your toilet at home, you never flush it. What happens? It's backed up. And soon as you know that, you're going to flush it and send everything through. Guess what? We've got to flush this sewer system, our gut. We've got to cleanse it. We've got to detox it. Because mucus builds up over time. Mucus, where does it come from? You see, the bread, the stuff we love, our sodas, our cheese, oh my God, our dairy, everything that's got dairy, your ice cream, your dressing, yeah, the dressings that you can't see through, like ranch, blue cheese, Thousand Island, Catalina, those, okay, our fast food. What is the mucus builds up, even cooked food. And that's what hinders the nutrients to get through the bloodstream. And that's what so many causes of allergies and colds and deficiency. So what do we have to do? We got to clean this thing up. And I live in Texas, and this is a normal barbecue dinner in Texas. 4 meats, 4 meat plate, and you look at all that cooked food, all that mucus. Oh my God, the potato salad, the coleslaw, all that mucus building up. I'm gonna give you something to take home with you today. If this is you, or you've done it sometime, start doing this. Add some raw to your plate. Just start there. Start somewhere, adding raw to your plate. Will you do that for me? I hope so. Now that we've looked at the pepsin and gastric as far as the stomach area, let's look at the small intestines. As we see still different terminology, the same terminology, peristalsis and the absorption. Looking at your report, it will be to the left if it's not in the green. This one was in the green, in the small intestines. See, the small intestines has the job of absorbing most of the nutrients in your food. And your circulatory system then passes them on to the other parts of your body to store or to use. So if you're in the blue or the yellow and the red, that means that's not working as efficiently as it should be, and you're not even getting your nutrients. You could be taking vitamin A, C, and E. You could be taking all these kind of different supplements. And if you're in the blue or the yellow or the red, you're not absorbing, you're not getting it to move through your body. You're just kind of wasting money. You might as well look in your stool. You probably see the pill sitting right in there. The next report is the large intestines, Same terminology, peristalsis and absorption. Now the large intestines, that's our colon. Listen, they say if they took it out, it would be the length of a quarter of a football field. But it's not that way in our bodies, right? It's in that, you see what it looks like. So it's got to move through. And that's what peristalsis gets blocked up. And that's where we get the constipation. That's where we get the bloating feeling. And then even intestinal bacteria. You're looking at your report. Are you in the blue, the yellow, or the red? Hopefully not in the red. But let me tell you something. Either way, if you're in the blue, we need to get it to the green. If you're in the yellow, we need to get it to the blue and then to the green. If you're in the red, it is crucial that we get it into the yellow, then to the blue, and then into the green. That doesn't happen overnight. That happens over time. And that's why we call this a flat belly lifestyle. Now, this thing about bacteria, there's some good bacteria. There's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. Now, the question is, do you have more of the good than the bad, or is the scale going the other direction and you have more bad than good? Well, if you're eating crap, you've got more bad bacteria than good. I'm just saying, we got to stop eating crap. And when we do that, all of a sudden we reverse the direction that we're going to and start putting in more good bacteria. Yeah, you see the diagram, you see the picture. We got to add more grains and fruits and vegetables, this kind of stuff in our diet so we can have good bacteria. That's our large intestines. See, even the last thing, the intraluminal pressure, again, the walls of your large intestines, again, just like I said earlier about the blood vessel, here it is again. It's only so large. And when that waste starts building up along the walls, have you ever just had to stop and just feel that pressure, feel that excessive pressure? Because it's resulting in constipation. Some people say to me, I've got IBS. They know it immediately when they look at the report. Or either inadequate pressure that's contributed to diarrhea or incomplete evacuation. You're constantly going to the bathroom, a little bit here, a little bit there. You're not having a good stool movement. And most of this is because nobody taught us, or at least let me just say me, nobody taught me about digestion. Nobody taught me about the fact that what the Mayo Clinic says, that after you eat, it takes about 6 to 8 hours for food to pass through the small intestines. Nobody told me that it takes 36 hours. Oh my goodness, nobody told me that it takes all this time for food to move through the entire colon. Who waits that long before you eat again? No, nobody. You're eating again and again and again and again. And the food is being packed there, and you've got 10 to 12 pounds of waste sitting in your gut. Because here's what our digestive tract does. Let's say you had a plate with strawberries and you had a plate with some rice and then you had some chicken. And it says without skin, but you probably had the skin on there, right? So now you're eating the strawberries and your digestive tract says, okay, no problem. I can digest this in about 20 minutes. We're good to go. Then we have the rice. We eat the rice. We don't wait until it digests. We eat the rice while we just barely swallow up the strawberries. And your digestive tract says, hold up, strawberries. I can't work on you right now. Now I've got to work on the rice. And then you put a piece of chicken in your mouth. There we go. It says, hold up rice, hold up strawberries. I'm working on the chicken. And the rest of that just sits there until you start getting that chicken broken down. Pepsin's working, peristalsis is getting ready to work. Oh my God. And before we all know it, over time, we've got 10 to 12 pounds of waste. I was doing this teaching and one of my partners sent me a picture of a colon. And it's so gross because it's got food that's been sitting there probably for weeks and months, maybe a year worth of food caked on this colon. I may show it one day. I don't know if y'all can handle looking at it, but it's amazing what that picture diagram showed you, an actual colon of somebody that had waste just attached to the walls. All right, so much for that. Let's get to the liver. Your liver is your next report. Looking at your liver, hopefully you have it out, you have it on your phone, you have it printed out on paper. Let's talk about the liver. The liver. What's the job of the liver? Well, let's look at this liver fat. Now, I want you to look down at your report. We're going to start from the bottom, work our way up to the top. Look at that liver fat content because that's really, that's so important. The average person that I do a scan on is either in the yellow or the red because we have what's called fatty liver disease. Now, what is the job of the liver? It's to filter. You know how your car, you have oil change every 3,000 miles, but they don't just change the oil, they change the oil filter, right? Because if they didn't change the filter, let the clean oil go through the dirty filter, you still have dirty oil. That's what's happening in our bodies. We have dirty oil, dirty blood flowing through our bodies. And that goes all over your body. That's what's leading to disease. That's what's leading to the blood clots because it's dirty. The job of the liver, if it's over on the right, it's having to work so hard to try to filter it out. And that's leading to liver disease. Now, I'm a baby boomer, and they told me the only person that had liver disease were alcoholics, cirrhosis of the liver. But this is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Non-alcoholic, not have to drink a drop, but you can have a fatty liver. And if you're in the blue, the yellow, or the red, it is time to address it and get these deposits off of your liver, flush it, cleanse it, get it back to a healthy liver. Bile secretion is also one aspect of how well your liver is functioning. How much bile do you have? Bile is something that we need in our liver. It's a secretion from the liver, and it's what helps us in digestion, especially in your fats. And it helps your gallbladder. In humans, it's produced in the liver, stored in the gallbladder. So we need to eat the right foods to help us have a healthy bile flow. Organic acids, apple cider vinegar. You see the pictures here. Oh, how much of this are you doing in your diet? Prebiotics, yes. Spices like ginger, turmeric, and cinnamon. Bitter herbs. Oh, God, I don't like bitter foods, but we need more bitters in our diet. And then other areas that cause your liver to function or that lead us in the wrong direction of liver disease are related to our protein metabolism, our energy production function, and our detoxification function. And if you're looking at your report and you see it in the blue, the yellow, or the red to the left, it is a telltale sign that your liver needs to be flushed. All right? Kidneys. That's the next report, the kidney function. Now, as we see in the kidney function, we see three areas, and I'm going to deal with the fourth area by itself, but there are three areas that I really want to touch on quickly. UroB, that's what I call it for short. I heard Sharon Dorsey call that uric acid and the blood urea nitrogen index. Everything that we're looking at is relating to how well your kidneys are functioning. And then the proteinuria index. See, because we eat so much protein, animal protein, we overdo it because our body naturally produces protein. And because our body naturally produces protein, and then we add on so much animal protein, we get too much and it bleeds over into the urine. And when you're looking at your report, you'll see it to the right. All of these will either be to the right, where there's too much. We've got an excess. And so now your body is having to overwork as it relates to your kidney. And that's what leads to kidney disease. Kidney disease does not happen overnight. It happens over time. But most people that are on dialysis, they didn't know that. Nobody told them they were leading or going towards kidney disease. They looked up one day. My father looked up one day and he was on dialysis. He went in the hospital for a pinched nerve. They told him it was sciatica. And when he came out, he was on dialysis. But if he had known that his ura-B was up, it was to the right, uric acid, because he's having too much animal protein. That's where the uric acid comes from, too much animal protein over time. You know what else causes that uric acid to go up? Oh my God, medication. It's the chemicals. The chemicals over time do damage to the kidneys, the blood urea and the protein urea. All of this relates to how well you're functioning. And let me tell you something. You heard me say earlier about pepsin and peristalsis. When they're not functioning, they put stress on your kidneys. Well, that's in the area where the protein urea, because remember, it's that pepsin and the peristalsis are not breaking it down and it's not moving to your bowels. So now it's putting stress on your kidneys and the protein urea is in excess and it bleeds over into your urine. Your uric acid gets so high if it's in the blue, the yellow, and especially if it's in the red. I'm gonna tell you, if it's in the red, you're probably already experiencing gout, kidney stones, and kidney failure. We don't want to be on a filtration system. The job of the kidney is to be a filtration system. And when it stops functioning, they put us on a man-made filtration system called dialysis. And then you got to be on medication if they find you another kidney, just to keep that kidney functioning, because it's not yours. You weren't born with that kidney. All right. Our next report and our final report tonight has to do with your body being acidic or alkaline. How many of you have heard that terminology, acidic or alkaline? Most people have heard it, but maybe still don't really understand it. Well, here's my way of making sure you understand it. You go to the store and you buy a battery, Duracell battery, any kind of battery. It's called an alkaline battery. Now, from my upbringing, we used to have boom boxes back in the day, and we put those big old D batteries in there, and it play 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 and it play. You know, it would lose its alkalinity. Now it's acidic. Well, guess what? The same thing happens to your body because of your diet, because of toxins, and because of stress. Oh my God. Yes, stress. Stress will kill you. If you have reports showing even your vascular resistance over to the right, and you say, well, I have a blood pressure problem. Well, stress will do that as well. It'll cause that plaque to build up around that artery. And stress is a silent killer, guys. Listen, they'll say you're a good old girl, you're a good old guy, and they'll be just crying over your casket because of stress. No, stop letting folks stress you out. You de-stress yourself. Find a way. Get in the bathtub, quack like a duck, put up a picture of the Bahamas and act like you in there. Get a movie and play it on a comedy and laugh and get on the floor and roll like you never laughed before, because laughter does good like medicine. But do something to get the stress off of you. People, place, things, whatever, job, don't let it stress you out. But let's look at that report. The basic, this is your basic report, and it has to do with your pH. That pH is the one I'm focusing on right now. It lets you know whether you're alkaline or you're acidic. Green, alkaline, red, acidic. There's no gray area. You see there's no blue, there's no yellow. It's just green or red. And it doesn't even move from the center spot. It just stays right there. But I want to help you a little bit, give you a little hope. Take a look at the actual measurement and see what number you are. See, in this particular number, it's 3.003, and you're 3.1. That was pretty close. So that's why if you cleanse your body, detox your body, you'll be in the green in this particular situation, depending on how far off you are. But it also relates to your response ability and your mental power and your water shortage and your hypoxia, which is actually the oxygen around the cells of your body. All of that has to do with your body being acidic or alkaline. It's this spectrum right here. This spectrum has to do with it, whether you're on the right-hand side or whether you're on the left-hand side. Where do you spend most of your time? At 3, 4, 5, and 6, or 7, 8, 9, and 10? Where do you spend? I mean, it's not that you can never have anything at 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to be that hardcore. I'm just saying we've got to spend more time at 7, alkaline water, 8, 9, and 10. You got to add that to your diet. And the more you do over on the right-hand side, the more alkaline you'll be. And why is that important? Because disease cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. Yes, if a person had cancer, and I've heard this and I've seen somebody do it, they went cold turkey, all fruits and vegetables raw. They changed their diet to a raw fruits and vegetables diet. And the cancer cells died because the alkaline environment, the cells cannot, the disease cells cannot thrive on that side. So everybody here has the potential to become a rechargeable battery by detoxing and becoming alkaline. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to flush our bodies with a cleanse. Toxins, get the toxins and the mucus and the waste and the parasites and the plaque out. We're going to rest our body and drink juice and eat fruits and eat vegetables. And we're going to tell you how to do it. But I hope that you will heed the warning. That's all the bioscan is. It's just like I live in Houston. We have hurricanes. Some people have tornadoes. Some people have snowstorms right now, and they get a warning. And they do something. Even if it doesn't hit, you go to the store and you get some batteries, you get some wood and board up the doors. You do something. My challenge to you is to do something. What better time than right now to start making a claim and start accepting the challenge to do something. But let's talk about what you're going to do. I'm going to bring to the forefront, to the stage, a woman that I respect so highly. I just love her, love her, love her. Listen, her name is Anna Gallagher. She's a mother. She's a grandmother. She's an entrepreneur. She's an Aconapreneur. She's an Acana lifer. And she's a certified wellness coach. Miss Anna, are you there?
Just one moment, she's joining. We can't hear you, Anna.
You can't hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now.
And you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Here, hand me my glasses. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about the 7-day refresh or the 21-day reset. Each one of these, it includes your meal plan, your grocery list, and a proven product on the refresh to help you jumpstart your healthy journey, lose unwanted pounds, and refresh the mind, the body, and the soul in just 7 days. On the 21-day reset, it helps you repair, renew, reset your mind, body, and soul, reduce belly fat and inflammation, and drop the weight in 21 days. The step 1 is the eliminator. This eliminates excess mucus and parasites. It's a powder. You drop 1 teaspoonful in 1 and 8 ounces of water, and you do this every morning. The second step is the purifier. This cleans the colon and it detoxifies the bodily organs. You all, this is wonderful. This is a tea. It's a tea bag in this bag. You can boil 40 to 45 ounces of water, drop this tea bag in it, let the water soak through real good once it has boiled, and you set it aside, cover it up, let it sit out overnight. The next morning, you're gonna pour it in a jar or a pitcher, whatever you prefer. And the first day of the 7 or 21 days, you're going to do 4 ounces in the morning, and you will do 4 ounces in the evening before 8 o'clock. This will give you a gentle bowel movement to get some of that bacteria and parasites out of your system. Our third step is the regenerator. This replenishes. It has vitamins and minerals in it. It has about 11 or 12 herbs. There's no medicine in anything that we have as far as the flat belly lifestyle. It's just going to take you where you need to go. This is going to replenish you. These are some of the items that you'll need for your juice, because you will be juicing. You'll be drinking 16 ounces of juice if you're a female, 24 ounces if you are a male, 3 times a day, before or after each one of your meals. So you've got the black oil seed, you've got the cayenne pepper, you've got the liquid chlorophyll, you've got alkaline water. Yes, you do need to drink alkaline water. You've got the aloe vera juice, you've got raw salad, you got fruits and nuts. Your nuts that you can eat will be pecans, walnuts, and almonds. No honey roasted, please. You have a free grocery guide, free group coaching. Where else will you be able to get this? Get well with your wellness coach. Get with your wellness coach. They're going to help you determine if the juice regimen or the smoothie is best for you. And these are our raw warriors, you all. These are not actors. These are real people. Some of them are distributors. Most of them are. They did the 21-day cleanse. Look at the before and after picture. We want to get there. And now we're going to hear from our CSO, Miss Phyllis Nash. You'll see what the 21-day cleanse did for her.
I was able to lose 14 pounds, 6 inches. And I love the way I look. I'm not going to lie. I am loving this. But let me tell you what I love even more. I dropped my cholesterol 50 points. Blood pressure stabilized. And my doctor and I had been fighting for the last 5 years because she wanted to put me on a statin. And I absolutely refused. And she told me I would never change my cholesterol, lower it by diet alone. Well, you can know how excited I felt when I had dropped it 50 points. I want to be optimally healthy until the day I just close my eyes and I'm not here anymore. I hope you join us.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, or whoever's on the line, we've discovered the most powerful superfruit on planet Earth. the Arona berry. This is our step 4, and don't even think about the word optional because you are not going to want it to be optional. This accelerates your weight loss. It tastes delicious. It only takes 1.5 ounces, drinking it twice a day. It reduces inflammation. And above all, the ORIC score is 41,000 plus. Now you're probably saying, what is the ORIC score? This score helps us to understand how effective a berry is, our food is at protecting ourselves from damages caused by harmful substance in our body. The higher the score, the better they are at keeping you healthy or keeping us healthy. Look, it has all kinds of berries here. They've got elderberry, blueberry, Nona. Look at their scores and look at the Arona berry scores. 40,000 here on this chart. You all have got to try this before you go to heaven. And then after I refresh or reset, you can choose from 3 options. Option 1, the flexible. Option 2, plant-based. And option 3, age reversal. You can decide. Then we have our product 4 also, which is the Flat Belly Blaster. Fat Belly Blaster Hemp Protein. You can use this in a smoothie. You can use it in your juice. 2 teaspoons is what it takes for your juice. It is wonderful. It is awesome. You've got to try it. And now back to you, Regina, Wellness Queen. Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Miss Anna. Thank you for all that you always do. Thank you for just blessing us and sharing that powerful information. Now, listen, we're almost done. So here's a couple of things I need you guys to do. I need you to get back at the person who scanned you because they probably did a complimentary scan. But our BioScan does over 45 areas of your body, literally 45 areas. That's over 100 pages. You probably got about 6 different things or 4 different things that you found out about. But how would you like to know about your gallbladder and your blood sugar and your vitamins, your allergies, things that that's really causing the allergic reactions, your skin? That's the largest place on your body, right? And for ladies, we can know about our breasts other than in October, if we're headed in that direction. Men, we can know about the prostate. So get back with them. They'll let you know how you can get the full scan report from them because when they scanned you, they actually were able to get all of those areas. And then remember me talking about toxins in your blood because of eating the wrong kinds of foods? Do you know your blood type? Okay, listen, go to the chat right now if you know your blood type and put it in there. Are you an A, a B, an AB, or an O? Now, if you put any other letter other than that, that's not your blood type. Why is it important? Because your blood type is a more reliable measure of your identity than race, culture, or geography. It is the genetic blueprint for who you are and a guide to how you can live most healthfully. You may be eating the very thing that's toxic to your blood because one person's food is another person's poison. What if you're blood type A and you love bananas and you're eating them every single day? It may be the very cause of your inflammation, your autoimmune disease. What if you're an O and you love your avocados? Oh, yes, I do. It's the cause of that inflammation. It's the cause of that belly fat that you just can't get off. What if you're a blood type B and you love your chicken? Oh, my God. Because we will help you. Say, well, you don't know it. You may go to the doctor and they'll be wanting to know. Why do you want to know? Well, we've got a blood type testing kit. Get back with the person who invited you. They will get the blood type testing. Very simple, very easy to do. All the instructions are there and all the things you need to do the blood type testing. And in about 5 minutes, you're going to know your blood type. You need to know your blood type. It's essential. And then you're ready to start the cleanse. You're ready to do the detox. Now, depending on what your scan is, really kind of determines on where you start. We'd love for everybody to start at 21 days because that gets the ball rolling. Because it's not about a one and done, it's a lifestyle. My husband and I do a 21-day, we're getting ready to do it in January. We do it twice a year. We've done 4 of them. This will be our 5th one. And it has changed the course of our direction. It has changed the things we see on our chart. But that means you heard Miss Anna say what you do, fruits and vegetables and salad. It's all raw cleanse, right? So I know some of you said, I don't know about 21 days. Well, listen, do 7 then. Do 7, and then a couple of weeks, or some people do 7 every month. Some people do 7 every 3 months. But start somewhere, because healing will not take place if we don't flush out the sewer system. So that's why we need every one of these products to help us. And then some of the products are helping us even after the detox. And you heard her talking about the aronia berry. Listen, I love it. I love it. I drink my 1.5 ounces, my shot glass. I'm always wanting to drink a little bit more because I love it. And I love what it's doing to my body. So one of them is 350, one of them is 139. But guess what? Here's what usually happens. And I have to show you this because this is what usually happens. You will do that 21-day cleanse and you will see changes. I can say that. Changes in your demeanor, changes in the glowing of your body, changes in the waist, changes in the weight. And somebody's going to say, how did you do that? What are you doing? You're looking good. What are you doing? I can tell you done lost weight. What are you doing? You're glowing. Well, guess what? How would you like to be able to send them to your website? Because you are the billboard. So now you send them to your website by just becoming a Pearl Lifestyle Pack, getting a Pearl Lifestyle Pack for $3.99. You become a brand ambassador for $29.95 and a pack $3.99. And now you have your own website. You get a 21-day cleanse that's included with this. And you get some more of our product, our pain cream and our broad spectrum and power gummies. And then you get some samples to even give away to people. And we're going to teach you how to be a basic wellness coach where you can learn to do the blood type testing. We'll teach you how to do that with all kind of other training that's involved. But then let me not leave without saying this, pitching this plug. We need more coaches. We have cities where we don't have bioscan coaches yet. And we are looking for people that love people enough, care about people enough, want to see people's lives changed enough that you want to become a certified wellness coach. Yes, we will certify you as a wellness coach. You go through our training with our naturopathic doctor, Dr. Eric Prince. You get this Diamond Coach pack. And I'm going to give you the whole enchilada. It's about $2,000. The $14.99 that it says here includes a bunch of stuff: 3 7-day cleanse, 1 21-day cleanse, hemp protein, extra extreme pain cream. Oh my goodness. Our own proprietary Hempranium Gold. That's our CBD drops. But you also get the full education and training to be certified as a wellness coach. You get certified as an econopreneur. And you get, when I said 2,000, that includes the bioscan equipment. The $14.99 does not. So that doesn't make sense to me. You want to get all of it, right? So get back with the person that invited you. They're ready to get you started somewhere, either starting the cleanse, 7-day, 21-day, the $3.99, the 2,000. Let's get started. We got to detox because it's your opportunity to give your body a break. God made our bodies to heal itself, to self-cleanse, to self-heal. And we gotta do what's necessary to get this to kick into gear. So join us, elevate with the color, and we already are welcoming you to the family. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We'll open up the just for any questions or comments. We'll give you